Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 18th of March 2023. Essence. Sweet children, create a way of giving an accurate introduction of the most beloved Father. Give the introduction of Alpha in accurate words so that the idea of omnipresence ends. Question. What is the duty of the children who pick up the imperishable jewels of knowledge? Answer. To churn the ocean of knowledge about everything very well, and to give everyone the Father's true introduction. Give them the understanding of who made them into sinful souls, as well as the understanding of who made them into charitable souls. It is the duty of you children to save everyone from picking the berries of Ravan and to enable them to pick up the jewels of knowledge. Create different methods for doing service. By remaining busy doing service, you will have limitless happiness. Song. Come and meet me, O beloved. Om Shanti. The Father, the Supreme Father, is always called the Creator. People say that he creates the whole creation of animals and birds. But you should explain to them that they should first of all understand about human beings. How does the Supreme Father, who is the Creator, create the human world? It is human beings who call out to him, the Father, because they are unhappy. Everyone remembers that one Creator. So, first of all, explain who the Creator of the human world is. That Creator is the Father of all. First of all, give them the Father's introduction. Souls neither have the introduction of themselves nor of the Father. If they had the introduction of themselves, souls, they would also understand whose children they are. We are the children of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. That Father is the Creator. Therefore he would surely create the human world first. That would be the new world, heaven. The Father would definitely create heaven. It is not possible that the Father would create a creation of sorrow. Since we are the children of the Father who creates heaven, we should also be there or in the supreme abode. However, we have come here to play our parts. These are the ways to churn the ocean of knowledge. Churn these things for whatever time you have available. Sages and holy men, etc., don't have accurate knowledge of the Father. The Creator would definitely create heaven, and all souls would be in the land of Nirvana. That land of Nirvana, where the Father resides, is also the home of all of us souls. You children have to make effort to connect your intellects in yoga to the unlimited Father. Because of not having yoga, human beings commit sin, and they are unable to imbibe anything. They don't remember the Father. God is only one. He is the most beloved Creator of heaven. There is a lot of happiness there. Here people remember God because there is sorrow. A father gives birth to his children to give them happiness. The Golden and Silver Ages are called the land of happiness. It is now the Iron Age. After this, the Golden Age has to come. Therefore the Father too definitely has to come. Churn the ocean of knowledge in this way and explain to others. Here you receive the Father's introduction from the Father. People don't know that most beloved Father. They don't know the Father, and so they don't even consider themselves to be his children. We now know the Father, and so we remember him. He is the unlimited Father of all souls. The incorporeal creates creation through this corporeal Prajapita. There is Prajapita Brahma and the Brahmins. Surely the father of Prajapita Brahma would be the Supreme Soul, who is called the Creator. When anyone comes, first of all give him the Father's introduction. Only when they remember Alpha can they then understand anything further. No one would be able to understand anything without first understanding Alpha. That too has to be explained in such a way that people are able to realize that the explanations you give seem to be very accurate. No one else would explain that the unlimited Father is the creator of heaven. There must definitely be someone who is the creator of hell. Since the one Father is the purifier, there must also be someone who makes you impure. This has to be explained very clearly. Who is the Father we remember? You wouldn't remember Ravan. People are completely ignorant. They neither know Rama, the Supreme Soul who purifies everyone, nor Ravan, who makes everyone impure. Before you ask people to fill in a form, you have to give them the Father's introduction. No one else can ask the question, who is the Father of you, the soul? A soul exists in every human being. It is said a living human soul, a sinful soul, a charitable soul. Only the Father makes you into charitable souls. So who makes you into sinful souls? This definitely has to be explained. Do you know the Father, who is the creator of heaven, whose children we all are? He would surely only create a pure world. The world is now impure, and this is why people sing, "O purifier, come." Who would purify all of these impure human beings? If he were omnipresent, it would not be right to say, "Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, come." If he were omnipresent, there would never be a need to remember him. We are now giving you very good advice. The advice of Brahma is very well known. We Brahmins are the mouth-born creation of Brahma. The one who gives advice to Brahma must surely be someone higher. Brahma is the son of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, Shiva, who is the Father of all souls. This one is Prajapita, the Father of people. If you children churn the ocean of knowledge in this way, to do service with it, you will have a lot of happiness. When someone comes, give him the jewels of knowledge. The Father comes and enables you to pick up the imperishable jewels of knowledge, through which you become the masters of the world. Then Ravan comes and makes you pick up berries, worth nothing. Images of Shiva and images of deities are all made of stone. By worshipping stone, the intellects of people have become stone. The images of Shiva are also made out of stone. Surely Shiv Baba must have come at some time in a living form and taught us. There must also have been Prajapita Brahma. There must have been Brahma Kumaris Saraswati too. They exist now in a practical way. Her praise is that she is the one who fulfills everyone's desires. She is the goddess of knowledge, who donates the imperishable jewels of knowledge to everyone. They have shown Saraswati with a sitar. All of these things should enter your intellects. If you have to give a lecture somewhere, you have to churn the ocean of knowledge. First of all, write out the lecture and then refine it. Great, good speakers speak with great caution. They say everything absolutely accurately. If they hesitate even slightly, they lose their honour. This is why they practice in advance. Here too, you should at least have enough knowledge to be able to give someone the Father's introduction. You have to do service. Many are trapped in the chains of vicious gurus. Those gurus are unable to grant salvation to anyone. Only incorporeal God is called the purifier. No one has been granted salvation through the notion of omnipresence. Shiv Baba alone is the purifier. He is also called Rudra. The sacrificial fire of Rudra is well known. No one else can create such a big sacrificial fire. For how many years does the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra continue? He continues to speak knowledge. When people create sacrificial fires, they also have scriptures there. They relate the stories from the Ramayana and the Bhagavad, etc. They call that a sacrificial fire of Rudra. In fact, this is the sacrificial fire of Rudra. This sacrificial fire continues for a long time. Their sacrificial fires would perhaps continue for a month. Look how long this sacrificial fire has been going. All the old things are to be destroyed in this. The whole of this old world has to be burnt in it. Just imagine how big this sacrificial fire is. Think about it. When everyone's body has been sacrificed into it, all souls can go back to the supreme abode. How can you become pure from impure until the Father comes? Who can liberate you from the chains of Maya? There must be someone. This is why the Master himself comes. It isn't that he becomes omnipresent and gives knowledge. He himself comes. We are his children and grandchildren. In fact, you are also this. That Father has now come and is giving us his introduction. Heaven is being established. We are Raj Yoga Rishis, whereas those people are Hatha Yoga Rishis. They tell a story of this as to whether such and such a guru weighed more than a Raj Rishi. All of them belong to the path of devotion, whereas you belong to the path of knowledge. There is a story about the scales of devotion and knowledge. On the one side are all the scriptures of the path of devotion, and on the other side is the knowledge of the one Gita. However, the one Gita is heavier. The Gita is that of Raj Rishis, whereas the Hatha Yogis have many scriptures. Place all of those scriptures on one side, and just the one Gita on the other side. In fact, that Gita is not ours either. Ours is of knowledge. The God of the Gita comes to grant salvation. So all of this should remain in the intellects of you children. Then, whether someone understands or not, it is our duty to explain to everyone. Everyone's eyes will open at the time of death. The flames of destruction emerge from this sacrificial fire of knowledge. The Lord of you Pandavas is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. It is only the Supreme Father, not Sri Krishna, who purifies the impure. Sri Krishna is a prince. No one would call him God the Father. He would be called a father when he has children. Sri Krishna is a child himself, so how could he be called a father? The law doesn't allow this. Sri Krishna has to have a partner with him. He has to have children for him to be called a father. That would then make him a householder. It is the incorporeal Father who sits here and gives knowledge. He never becomes part of a household. He is ever pure. Sri Krishna takes birth from his mother's womb, so how could he be called the purifier? You children now understand that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, has to enter the body of Prajapita Brahma. Prajapita definitely has to exist here. Therefore he names him Brahma and says, I enter this ordinary body. This one has taken 84 births and is now in his final birth. He is in his stage of retirement and is a very experienced chariot. It is said of Arjuna that he adopted many gurus and that he also studied many scriptures. Therefore you have to explain in this way. Have you ever heard the name of Prajapita Brahma? Since Brahma exists, there surely also have to be Brahmins. There are the main clans. They show the clans in the cycle. The Brahmin clan is the smallest of all. They have a short time to take knowledge. There are so few Brahmins. Then there are more deities. Then there are more warriors than them. Then there are more merchants and Shudras than them. There are so few of you Brahmins. Out of you few, there are even fewer whose mercury of happiness is constantly high. The Father has explained that the mercury of happiness will rise at Amrit Vela. During the day and at night the atmosphere is very bad. At that time it is difficult to stay in remembrance. The early morning hours of nectar are remembered. At that time all souls are tired, and so they become detached from their bodies and go to sleep. That is an auspicious time. In fact, you should have remembrance of the Father in your heart while walking and moving around. If you force yourself to sit in one place to remember him, that remembrance would not remain all the time. Rishis, Munis and devotees also wake up early in the morning and sing devotional songs, etc., because the atmosphere at that time is very pure. Therefore explain to anyone who comes that you are now studying. There is no question of blind faith in this. The incorporeal Father, in the form of the teacher, is teaching us easy Raj Yoga. Some people will be amazed and wonder how the incorporeal one teaches us. There are truly the words of God, and so he must surely have entered a body and taught Raj Yoga. He must have taken a body on loan. Therefore, first of all, give the Father's introduction in a wise way. What inheritance would you receive by saying he is omnipresent? Until God's words reach people's ears, they won't be able to understand anything. God is incorporeal. Brahma is the corporeal father of the people, and you are Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris. The incorporeal soul teaches through the body of Brahma. Our aim and objective is to change from human beings into deities. If you give the Father's introduction, you will be able to remember the Father. Some write that God is incorporeal, so you have to explain to them. Some write that they don't know anything at all. Oh, but you don't know your Father. Since the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is said, there must definitely be someone. You children know that you are earning your future income for birth after birth from the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Those who create obstacles in this must be accumulating so much sin. They create obstacles on purpose. Those who do it unknowingly would not be blamed. In fact, the whole world is without understanding. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bapdada. You children understand the meaning of each word. First of all, there is the Mother and Father, and then Bapdada. The Mother and Father is the one who makes you into the Masters of Heaven. These two are Bap and Dada. Then Jagadamba is said. These are very deep matters. This is the deepest riddle, and people can benefit a great deal by understanding it. Then he calls you long lost and now found. This is another riddle. He then says the children who are the decoration of the Brahmin clan, the spinners of the discus of self-realization. This too is a new riddle. Everything has a riddle within it. Acha. To the spinners of the discus of self-realization, the lights of the eyes, love, remembrance and good morning, the spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dana. Have a lot of love for the Father as you remember him at the auspicious time of the early morning hours of nectar, and let the mercury of your happiness rise. Continue to practice having remembrance of him while you walk and move around. 2. In order to imbibe knowledge very well and be saved from performing sinful actions, make effort to connect your intellects in yoga to the One Father. Blessing. May you be constantly powerful and experience the essence-full Yogyukt and Yuktiyuk forms by stabilizing in the point form. Instead of going onto a crooked path of a question mark, Put a full stop to every situation. Stabilizing in the point form, and you will experience the essence-full Yog-Yukt and Yukta-Yuk forms. Your awareness, words and actions will all become powerful. If you go into the expansion without becoming a point, you will waste your time and powers in wasteful words and actions, and words of why and what, because you will then have to come out of that jungle. Therefore, stabilize in your point form and make all your physical organs work under your orders. Slogan: keep the diamond key of the word Baba always with you, and you will continue to experience all treasures. Om Shanti.